And we are live. We want the gold, sucker. We want the gold, sucker. And what is up, everybody? It's your boy Ben Grusin coming at you this week, along with my boy Sage the Mod. Coming at you. Great week. We got a lot to get into, so let's go ahead and get right into it. What up, Sage? How you doing? What it is?
Oh, whoa. Throwback Thursday. Gotta talk on this track because you know we're gonna hit strikes with the YouTube.
Yo, that's the way we got to kick it.
Woo.
And for the record, we got to play it. If you could hear the background music, I know some of y'all in y'all's 30s gonna know that jam in the background. I can't name that jam because of copyrights. Now, but I can sing the hell out of it. Silky Mel Johnson. Silky Mel Johnson joining in the chat. Yeah, I did get that fresh cut. Went to the barbershop last week, got that fresh cut. People been ragging on your boy for sporting the Jerry curl when the hair is extra wet. It looks like a Jerry curl. It's like that GIF. You know what it looks like? So Sage, for those of y'all listening, Sage and Mark and I, a couple years ago, we started running on the lunch breaks, getting to shape. There's more so to save money. Also get in shape, also get out and hang out, talk wrestling, talk whatever, just get out for a bit. And then it turned into, man, you want to go get some wings? Yep, I'm good. Let's get some wings. So you heard it. No, you haven't heard it. Sage Mark is actually training for a marathon himself right now. So how many miles are you up to now?
6.5 miles. Clearing it in about an hour and a half, a little under an hour and a half.
See, that's good.
Yeah.
It's tremendous. So I used to be able to do my 3 miles in easily under 30 minutes, but it was just about listening to music or I'd listen to a podcast and just get out on a lunch break. But now, since my hair has grown out, after I get real sweaty, when I get out the shower, it looks like a Jerry curl. So for those of y'all who don't know, type in right now, because you could play the audio while you go search for stuff. Go to Google and search Michael Jackson popcorn GIF. And that is what my hair looks like, exactly like that. Matter of fact, I was doing a commercial and my hair caught on fire. It was a Pepsi commercial. My hair caught.
You ain't right.
But yeah, shout out to Silky Mel Johnson. I got the fresh cut. If you're in San Antonio, hit me up if you need a fresh fade, and I'll set you up. Me or Silky Mel Johnson will set you up with a fresh fade. Good place to go to. Right down in the middle of the medical center. We got some good people, good connects. Good week in wrestling. We had a good week in wrestling. Though I will say one thing. So I'm gonna confess. This is my confession. I'm gonna say I'm gonna be honest with you, and I confessed this 2 weeks ago. I didn't watch Raw this week. 2 weeks ago, I didn't watch SmackDown. I didn't watch Raw this week. I had some stuff going on. Wasn't able to catch up, and then I had to choose what do I want to watch between one or the other, Raw or SmackDown. So I didn't watch Raw. I watched SmackDown this week. Did I miss anything? What did I miss on Raw? What did I miss? What did I miss? I read the results. I went on Twitter, interacted with a couple fans, but what did I miss? You talk to me about Raw, Sage.
I don't know what you missed because I hardly even remember what happened on Raw because the Hulu cut was just so terrible again. 4 weeks straight. Terrible cut, son. The only thing that I think that I remotely remember is the Brock Lesnar, well, not Brock Lesnar, but the Roman Reigns and and Paul Heyman promo, which I thought was pretty decent until they like cut Paul Heyman out, went to commercial or not commercial, but faded to black, and then went into the Biggie Smalls undercover show, and then came back. It was kind of terrible, son.
Yeah. The production screw up.
Which was a pretty good match. I think I don't remember if it's this week or the last week that I'm getting mixed up. They fight this week?
No, it was this week. Yeah, no, it was this week. Yeah. I read what happened. And match. I just read literally like the highest of high level results because I didn't have time to choose between Raw and SmackDown and NXT and stuff this week. I actually would have wanted to see that match. I'm not going to lie. But there's just, I'm a fan of, like I said last week, I really like how for those guys who don't have confirmed WrestleMania matches, they're bringing that to light. Wrestlers saying, yeah, it's the biggest card of the year. I really wish I was on it. And we got some results out of that this week. So we got the triple threat, some confirmed main events. So obviously Roman and Brock. On the Raw side, Roman and Brock, Angle and Ronda, Triple H, Stephanie, and the triple threat match for the IC title. So
yeah,
I think I'm a fan. You know how they announced the triple threat match? Okay, let's talk about that. I like where that's going. Only because the Shield thing got kind of derailed by injuries. Who knows where Dean Ambrose would be in this mix? Miz is the biggest heel. Finn and Seth are two good wrestling faces. So they needed something for those guys. And Miz has promoted that title to it being on a bigger level than it should be. So he's made that title mean something special. So if he ends up winning this match, it's crazy. If Finn wins, it's crazy. I think I don't know if it'll be like the greatest match on the card or whatever, but it's not going to be a bad one. What are your thoughts on the triple threat, how they announced this week and how they've built up to it?
I don't like it at all. I would have much rather have, like, if this is really going to be the Miz's last hurrah before he goes on his paternal leave, then I would have much rather him give it to somebody, another mid-card, like a true mid-carder. I would have really liked to see Apollo Crews in this match, like replace him with Finn Balor, and then maybe
Elias,
yeah, and then maybe Elias. Like that would have been the match for me. Elias versus Miz versus Apollo Crews for the triple threat. I think that would have just. I think they have the most to gain from being in that match. Seth and the Demon, they have no business being in this feud whatsoever, in my opinion. It's just lazy booking.
Yeah, and Mel Johnson in the chat says we're looking at Pete WWE versus Marty Bullet Club match coming up. Not sure what that means, but if you're referring, so hit us up when you watch us live. Hit us up in the chat. Kind of confirm what that means for me. If you're talking about my boy Marty Scurll, he's my favorite Bullet Club member. I got the mask. That's what I'm going to do. Next week, I'm going to do the show with the Marty Scurll mask because he's my favorite. I like Marty better than Kenny Omega's great in the ring, but for the remaining members left of the Bullet Club, Marty Scurll's my boy. He's definitely my boy.
Mask.
That's what he's got. Well, yeah, you're a Assassin's Creed fan. Aren't those masks big in the Assassin's Creed storyline?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was big for the time. I mean, they used the doctors would use that to kind of ward off
sickness. The sickness. Yeah. You don't get the sickness when you have a mask that has a fucking nose that's like 12 feet long. I bought one in New Orleans because I didn't want to get any of the sickness. I'm going to wear it next week. It's in my closet. I'm going to wear it specifically next week. And I bought one in New Orleans. So I actually... Little story, y'all. I bought it for Mrs. Goosen. I went to New Orleans, home of WrestleMania this year. And I came back and was like, yo, I got us some masks. Check these out. These are cool as hell. And I got you a voodoo doll for when you piss me off. No, I'm playing. But I bought me 2 masks, and she was like, "No, I want the pretty sparkly with the one with the feathers and all that." And I was like, "Hell yeah, I got me this Marty Squirrel mask, anyways." Be elite, be elite, be elite, be elite. Whoop whoop.
Too sweet.
Mm-hmm. So that's where I went. Raw. I didn't watch on Raw. I didn't watch the
Symphony of Destruction. Oh yes,
yeah.
that
So
was actually pretty good.
Fill me. What was this match? I missed it completely.
Oh man, it was. I mean, it was just a blow off match between Braun Strowman, like to end the feud between Braun Strowman and Elias. I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. It's just a fun segment, man. You got two of the most over people on Raw, with a whole bunch of musical equipment, and it was pretty funny. Like Elias did his little, like he was playing the piano at the very start of his promo session. And he says, like, unlike Braun Strowman, Elias ain't no one trick pony. So he went to the drums and then started playing the drums, man. He's getting into the drums. It was pretty good. And then he pulls out a guitar, starts walking to the ring. And man, he's playing the crowd like into the palm of his hands and just tells them, I ain't gonna lie, this place sucks. And then
Elias says this.
Elias says this, man. And then he tells JoJo, I need a proper introduction. So it fades to black. The spotlight comes out in the middle of the ring with the chair, but there's no Elias whatsoever. Elias just hightails it to the back. He gets out of the arena and gets into a car. He tries to drive off, but Braun Strowman basically is holding the vehicle, and then that's kind of where the start of the match begins. Slap nuts everywhere, which was amazing. And then Elias got the piano dropped straight on his chest.
Ugh.
Yeah, so it was good, man. I absolutely marked out for that match. I can't believe that I forgot about that, but it is definitely the match I marked out for. I thought those two worked really, really well together. And it was just, I wouldn't mind seeing more of that, but I don't want it to be oversaturated at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. Rest of Raw. The only thing I did see on Raw this week was I don't even know where this match is going to happen, but what I thought the fans marked out for a huge was Vanguard 1 had about a half-second cameo appearance, and we got.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
It got cut from Hulu. No, don't tell me.
I don't know what you're talking about, man, but fill me in because now I'm pissed. Now I'm really, really pissed. Right. WWE, it's been like five months since I went crazy, and now I'm gonna do it right now, man. You guys are responsible for this nastiness on Hulu. This nasty cut. There ain't no reason I should be having like 5 on the mark out because your boy's about to go off. There's no reason for the 5 promos, 2 matches, and no Vanguard 1. Vanguard 1 needs to be on every single week. You understand me? Every single week. Let's go.
Yeah, Vanguard 1 made an appearance. Sage with the mark out. Yeah, Vanguard 1 made an appearance. So I caught. I know I said I missed Raw this week, so I did catch very little of it. And it was the Wyatt Hardy promo, and they're going to have the great final deletion at the Hardy compound, which I love because it's going to be filmed. The only downside is that it's going to be professionally filmed versus independently filmed, like the original final deletion. But you know what? Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, those guys can pull it off. We had a Vanguard 1 cameo, and it'll be entertaining at the very least. It'll just be something fun. I don't think it'll happen at WrestleMania. Or, you know what I'm thinking they might do? What if that final deletion match is at WrestleMania? And it's one of the things where it takes place over the course of a 4-hour WrestleMania. And then maybe it ends in the ring, maybe it doesn't. But it takes place over several segments of WrestleMania. What do you think about that?
I would be down for that for sure, man. If they spread it out, I mean, I'm all for it. It would be a good transition between matches. And the only thing that I ask is we need Itchweed. We
A
need King
dilapidated boat.
Maxwell, a
Yeah, dilapidated
dilapidated
boat.
bolt Skarsgård,
Hmm.
and we need someone to go into the Lake of Resurrection.
Oh, and that's the thing. So you know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when was the last time I thought, okay, a match at WrestleMania didn't go on. WrestleMania 10, Goldust versus Roddy Piper. That was when I think it was WrestleMania 10. That's when they had the Hollywood backlot brawl or whatever it was. And then they cut to them. I think Roddy Piper was chasing Goldust in his gold Cadillac, but Roddy Piper had a white Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
So when they cut to Roddy Piper chasing Goldust in his white Bronco, they just cut to see footage from the OJ, the white Bronco when OJ was traveling. So, and they let that go over like a good chunk of WrestleMania. So I thought that was cool. So that's one thing I'm pumped for. Raw ending on a promo wasn't great. You talked earlier about the Roman Reigns Paul Heyman segment. Wasn't really a big fan. Hopefully, Raw gets pumped up over the next couple weeks. I thought, when comparatively speaking, because I watched both shows, we had Raw, which is in the lead up to WrestleMania. Fastlane is coming up Sunday, so we had a SmackDown Go Home show. I'm not gonna lie, with the exception of the ending, I kind of felt like SmackDown was not on the high priority list this week.
Yeah. And before we get into that, because that's actually going to lead us into a couple of questions. We got the mailbag, the mailbag from our community, the Ben Goose and We Need to Know segment, which I think I've like renamed that thing like 5 or 6 times already. But so one thing I wanted to hit on Raw, because this seems like it's may become a theme going forward, is Brock Lesnar, man. I think that they're going to be playing his storyline where he just continuously no shows to kind of, I guess, lack of a better words, help get Roman over. And it'd be a little bit more palatable when he ultimately wins the title off of Brock. What do you think about that?
I agree. I think him no showing becomes disrespectful to the marks and the fanboys, especially when they advertise him and he no shows. Because WWE, the mode that they're in right now, so we all know Roman Reigns is winning the title at WrestleMania. And when we do our WrestleMania predictions, we're both going to pick Roman Reigns. But so they have to do something, because ultimately in the actual WWE, in the marks love Brock over Roman. So there's got to be, you have to disrespect. And the marks are only like 10, 15, 20% of the crowd, not that much. So the fans and the kids and the women are going to cheer Reigns, and it's the marks that boo Roman Reigns. It just happens to be that when you go to a crowd, the 20% of the crowd is that are the marks are louder than the other 80%. So they have to do something to disrespect the marks. And a guy no calling, no showing shows and not showing up and being known for being all about the money and the paycheck, he just happens to be good at this. That's what rubs the marks the wrong way. So it helps them boo him. So I think they're going around. I think they're going. It sucks that Brock's not on TV to hype it up, but to hype up the match itself, I think they're going about it the right way. Because Brock's going to make at least 1 or 2 appearances between now and WrestleMania. So I think they're going about it the right way, because they're trying to get people to hate Brock in general. So I'm okay with it, as long as maybe they shouldn't have him at all on TV between now and then. Because fans like Brock, 'cause he kicks some ass and he's got great moves and he sells and he's good in the ring. So maybe I do think it's to get Roman over. So I'll answer your question. I don't have an issue with it, because I think it's to help get Roman over.
Yeah, I mean, I ultimately think that that's the way to go. I think that creative right now is struggling to put on a like they seriously are committing this to be the main event of WrestleMania. Um, and I think that's the only way that they're going to garner real, I guess, real. I want to say emotion, but for us to really care about the event itself, we've got to be marks. They've got a challenge to make us truly marks for it and whatnot. So, but with that being said, Goose, one of our listeners did want me to pose a question to you. So shout out to the wrestling wrestling shamer for this one. He wanted to know, or they wanted to know, do you think that the creative team is running out of ideas for SmackDown?
We were just texting each other about this earlier. Without a roster change of some sort, I almost think so, yes. And I think that because the Usos, especially if they win this weekend, have cleared out the tag division. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens has beat most of half the roster. AJ's beaten literally everybody. Gender is a thing of the past. So I think they thought if we can get all the people who can go in the ring, we'll have a good show, and they did for a year, but I don't know what the next big storyline is. Maybe Baron Corbin taking that next leap into heavyweight. I don't know. So I'd have to, if you just said, hey, you know what, answer yes or no, I'd say yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a fair assessment. And last couple of weeks, it's been really evident that SmackDown has been getting the bad stick of the storylines. I can't even start to say how the main event of Fastlane, my worst fear may be coming true from that perspective. And I think that the only reason why they may go this particular route is nothing short of they think that they're not going to they don't think that they have a strong enough card. But we'll get into that a little bit more when we get into our predictions. So I thought SmackDown was it was decent. A couple of good segments here, but a lot of awkward ones. Wasn't really a fan of Bobby Roode coming out to save, quote unquote, Charlotte, and then Charlotte looking like she's the damsel in distress. I thought that the women's division was supposed to be the opposite of damsel
that was
in
kind of weird.
distress. And then they didn't do anything about it. Like all they explained is, oh yeah, they're the mixed match challenge, and that's it. That's about it. But like there was nothing. It just kind of fell flat, and I don't know. I felt like it was a bit disrespectful to the ladies to do something like that.
So, ending of SmackDown, that caught me off guard.
Yeah,
big time. I thought the main event was good, and so Sami Zayn, he's. I texted you earlier this week and said, "Hey man, is Sami Zayn a jobber or what?" And I was, who knows? Because maybe you sent that text to WWE because he picked up the W this week. So what'd you think about him giving the haluva kick to Kevin Owens?
I absolutely loved it, man. I marked the hell out when I saw that. Like, because now you don't, I mean, if there's any match that you may go in thinking that it may not be a lock, it would be this match here. But even more so, it's setting up several. It could be setting up several storylines, right? Are we going to get KO versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania, or are we going to get swerved and AJ loses the belt? Like it's kind of crazy, I love it, man. Anytime Sammy gets a win, I'm all for it, and I absolutely love his heel persona. I'm really interested to see how they came to terms with him about flipping the script, So it'd be interesting if they do like that battleground or that little series that they do on the network where they kind of talk about the 360.
Yeah.
It would be pretty interesting to see that if they make it. So I know I'm a fan, man. Although I do wish he would have ended it with the Blue Thunder Bomb. I'm satisfied with the hula kit.
Oh yeah, it came totally out of nowhere. So I thought SmackDown as a whole was entertaining from that aspect. I thought it was good. I mean, it was still at the end of the day a go home show for Fastlane this weekend. So are you pumped for Fastlane at all? Like, give me a 1 to 10. How pumped are you to watch the show?
Probably would say a 3.
Yeah, I'd be in the same boat. I'm gonna watch it, but I'd be about a 5 just because I'm gonna watch it, but there's no wrestling on Sundays or no football on Sundays, so I could watch it, have a good time. But I don't know what match is gonna blow me away or anything like that. I think there's good matches and some just got made this week.
But
So
let me just run down this. This is why I'm not happy about it, man. Like, listen to these matchups, man. We've got Becky and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. We've got Shinsuke versus Rusev. We've got Rude versus Orton, but we have Jinder Mahal that's ultimately getting W's on both of them while they're wrestling, but it's not in the match whatsoever. Which I guess if they're gonna slow build a triple threat to WrestleMania, I guess I'd be all right with that. But this is just kind of too many holes in that. Then we got Charlotte versus Ruby Riott, with Ruby Riott having almost no chance of winning this match whatsoever. We've got the Usos versus the New Day, which on paper sounds great and should be a WrestleMania match, but we more than likely know that that's probably going to end in a double DQ because of the Bludgeon Brothers. And then we've got the fatal 6-way match where it's kind of looking like maybe AJ's not going to win, the match itself. I mean, to me, this is all kind of predictable, man. Like, I think that we're probably, maybe for the exception of one match, we're going to have pretty much the same type of predictions. And I would probably venture to say that like 80% of the community is going to have the same type of reaction to most of these matches. This is lazy booking, man. Yeah, I don't get it. Yeah, well, I just don't get it.
Let's get into our predictions. I think that we'll start with the easy matches. Since the common belief is that the community, the wrestling community's got the same feeling on who's going to win. So this week it was announced Shinsuke Nakamura is going to fight Rusev. Rusev's definitely losing. Shinsuke's got the title shot at WrestleMania, so Rusev's definitely going to lose this, right?
So I mean, I'm in the camp that Shinsuke is going to win, but to me, if Shinsuke wins this match, what does he got to do for the next 4 weeks?
Well, he'll just feud with the champ.
But it wouldn't make any sense for him to feud with AJ. Like, it's like
it doesn't make sense, but it's the match people want to see.
It is the match that people want to see, but I don't think it's going to happen. I honestly think it's either going to end up being either a triple threat match or it's going to end up being held back until SummerSlam.
I could see that, because if they don't have it for another couple months, because WrestleMania is a stacked card. Other cards aren't as stacked as WrestleMania, so yeah, they could easily put it off. So who do you got? I assume you have Shinsuke winning. If you had to pick a winner, loser, or DQ,
I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna go with Rusev on this one. Either like a messed up finish or something like that. I think that him and Aiden are gonna have a quick feud. I mean, I think this would be the smart thing for them to do. Have them have a quick feud for 2 weeks, then have Shinsuke kind of mop the floor with them for those 2 weeks, and then Shinsuke goes on to focus on the champ. And I think it would make sense to go this route if AJ is going to lose this fatal 6-way. So, and I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yes, just speaking of predictions and Fastlane in general, another match that doesn't really have anything on the line is Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. I don't care about this match, so I think the faces will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing much to be said. Do you think Carmella cashes in this weekend?
I don't. I don't think she cashes in. I honestly don't. I think she cashes in either. I think she cashes in that Mania, and then ends up. I don't know, man. I don't know. She's had that thing for what 265, 66 days already.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, and they're just now putting her on the TV screen. She's got until June to cash it in. So if she doesn't cash it in within the next week, it's more than likely going to be at Mania or the day after Mania.
So the U.S. champion Bobby Roode and Randy Orton. I've got definitely Bobby Roode running this.
I've got double DQ.
And then they just pleaded into WrestleMania?
Yeah.
All right. Definitely could happen. SmackDown's, well, we've kind of chimed in on Charlotte Flair versus Ruby Riott that Riott doesn't stand a chance. But SmackDown, the tag champ match, it's the Usos versus the New Day. So you mentioned New Day earlier. Does that mean you think they're going to come up with the W this week?
No, I think it's going to be a DQ finish on this one here too. I think the Bludgeon Brothers are going to get involved, and we're going to have a 3-way dance at WrestleMania.
The main event, and I agree with you on the same topic. The main event, it's going to be AJ Styles, John Cena, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Dolph Ziggler, and Ben Goosen, and Sage Mark in a fatal 15-way in the cage. I don't know if it's in the cage or not. So I'm just going to play it safe and say I got AJ Styles winning.
I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but I think John Cena is gonna win this one. I think John Cena is gonna win this one, and then AJ's gonna cash in his rematch and make it a triple threat match at Mania. I don't like it whatsoever. But I put it in the perspective as if AJ wins and Cena loses, it doesn't. I mean, if AJ wins, what's there for Cena to do? They obviously want him to be in Mania. Like, it's a foregone conclusion. They want him to be at Mania. So what does he do? I mean, are we really thinking that The Undertaker is going to come back?
Ugh, I don't want to hear about Undertaker, Rey Mysterio, John Cena until WrestleMania. Because the rumors that have been going around are so silly. Like, they're just borderline bad. You know?
Yeah.
Like, they don't have any content to them or anything. So, yeah, it's just rough. Like, from it's just on the fence. I think Fastlane will be a good show this week, but we'll see. I'm going to pull for AJ Styles. I'm not that vested. I texted you earlier and said, man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling this card. I'm pulling for AJ Styles just so we could fight Nakamura.
Yeah. I mean, I want AJ to win. I don't see it happening, you know. It'd be great if he wins, and then that will kind of help us. If he does win, I will be more invested in the John Cena promo, or not promo, but
what's next
path to WrestleMania. But if he wins the match so that they can make it a triple threat, to me, I think that weakens the WrestleMania card. So, speaking of rumors, we got another question from our community. Rumors are swirling around about a Del Rio return. The question is, would you rather see him return, or would you rather see Cien Almas come up to the main roster?
Easy, Cien Almas.
Boss Wrestling.
Cien Almas, younger, more upside, less drama. Easy question. I'd love to see Cien Almas bring his wrestling style to to the main roster. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I would too. I don't see where Del Rio would really fit into the grand scheme of things. I don't, I, I don't want to see him and Paige anywhere near each other. I don't know what goes on behind closed doors and things like that. And I'm not going to speculate, but they're both combustible, and, you don't want to put two combustible elements in the same vicinity. So, yeah. So I would rather seeing almost there's a lot more upside, like you said. Then we'll get Selena Vega as well. I think it's an all around win if he were to come up. So,
I agree with everything you say. Sorry, last question.
Yeah. And then the last question comes from All Things Wrestling, or All Things WWE, I should say. He says, "What is your favorite heel turn of all time, Ben Goosen?"
Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite heel turn of all time. So, the Shawn Michaels kicking Marty Jannetty through the glass, the barbershop glass is up there. But I'd have to 100% say, just from entertainment standpoint, was Mark Henry's salmon suit. Hey, I'm retiring, and then he power slams John Cena. That was probably my favorite retirement of all time. Would you? What about yours, Sage?
Yeah, man, that definitely ranks up there in the top three, man. I would probably say the Hogan heel turn into the NWO when he leg dropped Macho Man.
That was a big one.
That kind of changed wrestling forever, man. Like, it changed so much things for me, and I don't see anything that can top it. I see things that come close, but I don't see anything that could top that. Maybe a John Cena heel turn, but I just don't see them.
Oh, of course not. That's not going to happen.
So, but yeah, man, that was it for the questions, man. I appreciate you guys submitting those over to us. And if you have a question, you listen to the podcast right now, you guys have a question, there's a couple ways you guys can respond over to us. If you're an email person, IRWP feedback@gmail.com. You can use, if you're on Twitter, mention at Real WrestleCast. Instagram, it's Real Wrestling Podcast. And if those are too long for you, just search the hashtag IRWP. We're one of the only ones that actually use that one, so we'll be able to answer your questions on air. Let us know what your predictions are, what you guys like, what you don't like. Let your brothers know. So, with that being said, Goose, I do want to see if you saw that Chris Cyborg matchup over the weekend.
Oh man, I did, and so Frankie Edgar. First off, before we get into the main event, which was Cyborg, man, Frankie Edgar. That's my new wrestling name, Edgar. Frankie Edgar and he's a guy who's got excellent head movement. He just, man, you take a shot to the right side of the face or whatnot, and you're dropped. I thought the card I expected boring, but it was entertaining, and I don't think anybody could beat Cyborg. I think Cyborg could actually beat me and you up.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset, man. She's just overwhelming, overpowerful, and I don't know if I'm a fan of her fighting Nunes. To be honest with you,
yeah.
I know that's kind of like, man, she fights a lot. Like, Chris Cyborg fights a lot. I think she fights almost like every month and a half or every 2 months. Like, she puts in that work. And although I respect that, in the champion, but I mean, damn, I'm wondering when Kat Zingano is going to be in the hair. She still doesn't have a shot for Nunes's belt, bro. She's like ranked number 2.
Oh, I'm not even going to get into how all that ranking stuff works. But yeah, the UFC is fun, especially since they all kind of live locally, and you see a lot of San Antonio talent. So that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. But I digress. I think we have a good, maybe good, I'd say a 5 to 7 capability Fastlane this weekend. I didn't have anything else I wanted to touch on this week. Did you, Sage?
Just a couple things real quick, man. And then we'll get into shout outs here, man. It's this month is Women History Month. And I think that we need to do our part in recognizing some of the women in history. Since we are a wrestling podcast, I think we should start with maybe honoring, women, bruh.
Yeah, International Women's Day is when we record this.
International Women's Day. Well, it's actually Women History Month, bruh. So it
is March, yeah.
All month long. So I'm gonna put you in the hot seat, Goose.
Uh-oh.
Who you recommending for this week's Extraordinary Woman? I'm every woman. It's inside me. Anything you want now, baby.
Whoa. I'd have to say Extraordinary Woman.
In wrestling. I'll make it easy, bro. It's in wrestling, man.
Cardi. Why are you about to say Cardi B?
Cardi B, bro.
A solid woman. I don't know. Not that I don't know enough women. It's just hard to choose between the ones I do know. Taraji Henson.
You're terrible, bro.
Why?
Yo, shout outs to Miss Elizabeth. May she rest in peace. One of the greatest valets and professional wrestling. Yeah, if you guys haven't had an opportunity to be blessed with her presence, definitely check, Macho Man. I think they have that series, the Macho Madness or the Macho King on there. Couldn't have a better partner, man. But Selena Vega is getting close, so just say that. Speaking of extraordinary women, Kimberly actually got released from the WWE this week. I don't know if you heard about that.
No, I didn't, but it's good to know. Yeah, this week in wrestling was pretty normal. Nothing drastic happened. I don't have anything else like material-wise. I even looked at my phone notes, and I have nothing else for this week that I had to ask you that we haven't asked already.
It's all good, bro. Let's hit these shout-outs real quick and get out of here.
Yep, let's get to these shout-outs.
All right, man.
Hey, Goose. Hey, Goose. Yeah, what up, Sage? Hey, Goose, man. You got the shout-out drop? Is that what you were about to say, Sage? No, I don't.
Man. I wasn't, man. No, I appreciate you putting yourself on the spot, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had to put myself on the spot. Hey, Goose, you got that drop? I've been asking for it for about, I don't know, a year and 2 months now.
Bruh, I need that drop, son. I need that drop. That drip. Drippity drop. All right. So first and foremost, want to go ahead and thank our usual band of characters. We got Silky Mel Johnson here in the chat. Appreciate you, bro, coming out. Promise you that shirt is on the way. And we got Kyle, John R. We got 5 Meats Comics. We got Automated Behavior. We got Kyle K, Mark Fitzpatrick. And special thank you to Damian Sandow, aka Aaron Rex. Y'all can reach him at Aaron's Thoughts. Gave us a little love this week by answering some of our questions. Apparently SmackDown dropped his name, so wondering if that's a sign of good things to come. Just saying out there. And then also just want to go ahead and welcome some new community members to our podcast. Sub jobbers, because they got their own podcast, so can't really call them full-time jobbers, but Super Kicking It with Kelsey. I'll go check out her podcast. And then Still Real to Us, eerily similar to what our podcast is, but I'm not splitting hairs, at Still Real #2 Us. Y'all go check them out. And with that being said, that will conclude our shout outs for the week.
Yeah. Hell of a show today. Great show, great topics. We kept it quick and terse today because we had so many good topics, so many different views of opinion. But at the end of the day, other people's views are perfectly fine. Don't take them to heart. You know, you just got to do what you got to do. There's a lot going on in this world that might be ending soon. Who knows? But just remember, keep it real.
Wakanda forever.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is your boy Ben Goosen, and hey, today's show, we hope you loved it. Hit us up on IRWP.us 777 IRWP. Hit us up. I'm on Twitter at Ben Goosen, at Sage Mark. Hit us up. Let us know what you think. Because hey, at the end of the day, the thoughts and the opinions expressed are that of the host and not of the IRWP. And we want you to like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. Tell your uncle to subscribe. We just want to hear from you, wrestling fans. We got something special. At the end of the day, just keep it real.